Back speaking with Roland Hill from Cadoux this morning on Just Stocks. Rolly, morning.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew.
Hey, look, Rolly, first time we've spoken on Just Stocks about Cadoux. Just give us firstly a bit of an overview on the company.
So a quick 2-minute summary on Cadoux. We're a critical minerals focused company. We have basically two projects. Our core project is high purity alumina, or HPA for short. We've been developing and improving this strategy for a little while to make material high purity alumina. It's a material that's sort of come into the fore only the last 5 or 6 years, but is a growing market. It has basically two markets. One is through batteries, and that's dependent on the EV sales, but the market's growing at about 20% per year. And the other one is it gets directed in and made as a sapphire glass, a synthetic sapphire glass, which goes into LED markets, watch faces, TVs, lights, everything. That's a huge market, and that's growing at about 18 or 19% per year. So depending on where we direct this material, we can sell to two very important and growing businesses or markets. We've been developing the process for about 5 or 6 years now, as I mentioned, and improving it as we're going along. In 2021, we put out our DFS that documented through verification and demonstration of the material and engineering an exceedingly exciting NPV of just over $1 billion US, and an extremely high rate of return, about 55%, great cash flows. The investment dynamic is absolutely exceedingly outstanding. So that's our motivation to continue with the project. Our second project is something that we've been working on for just over a year now, jointly funding a project called Minhub. We recently announced that we're purchasing 50% of the owner of Minhub, and the strategy there, I suppose, really is to disrupt supply and refinement of rare earths through downstream processing of mineral sands. There's a bit of IP behind all that, some very interesting smarts, but it's a bit of a disruptive strategy. Just to be clear, we don't have a project. We're not explorers. We're not miners. What we're going to be doing is independent third-party processing of perhaps stranded assets, or even assets that are in production at the moment, but might need to have an accelerated return from a waste or discounted product that would normally be sold overseas. We're going to produce or we redirect that and produce that in Australia, and make a premium product of that. So two very exciting critical minerals projects, both very innovative, very bit of IP behind both, and we're very excited about them.
And you're working towards a DFS for Minhub this year, are you?
That's right. So the HPA has a DFS already, and that's on our website. There's a lot of detail around that. But the exciting thing now is that the Minhub project is working towards a DFS. We might have that out by next quarter. Hopefully, it's a delicate and quite intricate thing to do. So quite a bit of engineering in behind all that to incorporate multi-client feedstocks. So first time that's probably done in Australia, to be honest. So lots to consider, but we're looking forward to that, and then pushing the button on both. Yeah.
And the idea is to move towards full ownership of Minhub, is it?
Yeah, that's right. So we recently announced 50% under an LOI we've had with Minhub for the last year. There's a couple of CPs that just need to be met. We met them by and large for our first 50%. Still a few more to go, which will be the catalyst to take 100% of that. That gives us the right to take ownership in that project. And with that, we have an option with Arafura, who might meet the other 50% of the capital and absolute project management, not company ownership, but management of the asset.
And what are the next steps, Rolly, for the HPA? What are the near-term catalysts there?
Yeah, so look, it's It's an extremely exciting business. So, we've demonstrated that it's viable. We've demonstrated that we can make it. So now I suppose the next step is to do the engineering in and around that. So we've been on an engineering feasibility study pathway for the last 12 months approximately, putting together the materials construction, the materials handling of quite an important material. Key to it is, as I point out, is that the purity that we're chasing is 99.99%. Very difficult to achieve, hence the hurdle of manufacturing or refining. But also key to it is that you don't dilute it or downgrade it through the manufacturing process. So very, very key. But because of this refinement and purity level, it attracts a high premium. It sells for about 25 to 30 odd $1,000 US a ton, and to us that is the reason why we're there. So we're going through a whole series of engineering phases and designs to get ready to a FS study that we probably put out towards the end of next quarter, perhaps, maybe even a bit earlier. That'll be the first line of sight that we'll have on costs for what we're proposing to do is a modular system. We're planning 1,000 to maybe 2,000 tons per annum initially, and then this stage up to our DFS design output of 10,000 tons capacity. So a series of engineering scoping studies to go before we get to that, but and then looking at towards probably a FID early next year.
What about some early offtake discussions?
Yeah, so here's the crux of the business, I suppose. Very difficult to get an offtake without having produced it first, and you can't really produce it without the financing, and so we've been doing a very I suppose very clever step-by-step development phase in the production of getting qualification material and providing that to customers and getting feedback. So all the feedback's been positive with the material that we've had at demonstration phase, pilot plant and demonstration. So now we want to get into sort of a production phase to give customers confidence, but bit by bit we're moving towards that.
Good to speak, Rolly. Thanks for your time.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks, Andrew.